It's carnage in technology. If you're in tech, it feels like there's blood in the streets. It feels like every day you hear about more and more tech layoffs. 2023 will be remembered as the Great Tech Reset. So what's that mean for you? What's that mean for the industry as a whole? I've been in tech for a while. I remember the Y2K crisis, then the dot-com bubble in 2002, followed by the housing crisis in 2007. And although that wasn't specifically the tech sector, that event shook all job markets. I remember the tension. I remember the fear and trepidation. And I'm not sure why, but this exodus feels different. For some reason, this feels more disconnected. It feels like just numbers on paper, kind of like smoke and mirrors. If you do a Google search for 2023 tech layoffs, you'll see several articles describing all the layoffs in great detail. Here's an article from Techcrunch. Dropbox is laying off 500 employees. Amazon has announced an additional layoff of 9,000 employees on top of the 18,000 layoffs announced in January. Meta is expected to cut 10,000 jobs. Netflix has announced layoffs. Disney will cut 7,000 employees. Salesforce is cutting 10% of its staff. Microsoft will be laying off 10,000 people, and Google or Alphabet will cut 12,000 positions. And this list keeps going and going. But to me, it feels overblown. It seems like you have to read between the lines a bit. To me, it looks like companies are using the current economic conditions to trim the fat. Take a look at Amazon, for example. They announced layoffs in January of 18,000 people and just followed it up with 9,000 more. But how many of those were tech jobs? Meta is supposed to cut 10,000 jobs, but how many of those are tech jobs? Disney's going to cut 7,000 employees. Sure, Disney has tech guys, but do they really have 7,000 tech jobs? It just feels like people are pushing the shock factor. Yes, tech jobs are being lost, but is it really the doom and gloom that these articles are trying to portray? I don't think so. It's never fun when jobs are being lost, but I'm not sure that people are aware of the tech boom during the pandemic. It felt like Amazon was trying to hire engineers to keep them away from Google and Microsoft, add Meta to the mix, and those companies were trying to hoard the talent. That's all rumor and speculation, of course, but maybe there's a hint of truth. Let's take a look at this article from Gizmodo. Amazon begins another round of mass layoffs. But let's scroll down and dig into this a bit. The article says there could be other reasons at play behind the restructure. Amazon may have accidentally over-advertised and overhired for AWS jobs by a factor of 3 in 2022. The sector posted nearly 25,000 job openings online when it was only approved to recruit for under 8,000, according to documents leaked by The Insider in March. Of course, Amazon has denied this, indicating that The Insider made incorrect assumptions based on an anonymous source out of context. I'm not here to say if this is true or false, but where there's smoke, there tends to be fire. And as someone working in tech, we thought that they were overhiring. Just saying. And while everyone in the tech sector is pushing the panic button, there's this piece of news that came out. Amazon records $3.2 billion profit as it lays off thousands of workers, and sales rocket to $127.4 billion in the first quarter. Shares surge 12% in extended trading. Wait, what? Wasn't the tech sector supposed to be in trouble? I thought all these companies were laying off people due to current economic conditions. But then Amazon records $3.2 billion in profit. Really? The article states that net profit stood at $3.17 billion in the quarter ended March 31st, compared with a loss of $3.84 billion a year earlier. This just tells me that Amazon and likely other companies are leveraging the news about the economy to trim the fat, to reduce resource expenses, which add to the bottom line, which investors love, and that's why shares jumped 12%. So what's this mean for you? I see this as a huge opportunity. If you're a rockstar employee, you'll be able to find a job. The restrictions on remote work, they've all been relaxed. Enterprises will want to pick up rockstar talent. And from a hiring manager's perspective, people seem to forget that it was impossible to hire good talent over the last few years. Now it sounds like the talent's out there. This is an opportunity to build rockstar teams. You have to expect that these conditions will turn around. The numbers that Amazon just posted may be the beginning of the next leg up. This 2023 tech reset may have just leveled the playing field. Let's see who takes advantage. I'll leave the URLs for these articles in the description below. And if you want to hear my take on the tech news that I'm paying attention to, come subscribe to Digital Decision Makers. Here's an example of some of the tech news that I'm paying attention to. ChatGPT data breach.